Before we begin, I would just like to give a quick thank you to Blasphemous Moons, who I had a brief exchange with regarding Dishonored lore. Our brief discussion led to an interesting realization, which is the topic of this video. If you're up to date with the game series, then you are already aware that Corvo is the royal protector and father of Empress Emily Kaldwin. But it turns out, according to the first Dishonored book, The Corroded Man, he also became the royal spy master after the first game. He even has a bunch of people working for him who are highly trained in espionage and combat. I understand that this was something briefly mentioned in the second game, but it's more like a throwaway line than something integrated into the story. Which is a real shame because throughout the novel, it is made clear that their group is highly competent, led by a man who knows what he's doing. With that said, how is it that a huge operation such as Delilah Copperspoon's insurrection managed to slip past the spy network surveillance? Remember that it's not just the Circle from all the way down south in Karnaca who were involved. We know that Dunwall's captain of the guard, Mortimer Ramsey, is in on it, as well as half of the City Watch. With so many people involved in a recruitment process that took a long time before the hostile takeover, one would think that a spy might have heard something about it. Maybe from a disgruntled drunk guard enjoying his time off in a pub, or even from a very vocal loyalist who's repulsed by Ramsey's plan and ended up getting offed by his fellow guards during the game. There were even notes passed around by the captain prior to the attack that a spy could have intercepted. So many possibilities for something to spill that would have caught a spy's attention but did not. Now, this could be perceived as something they simply overlooked, but Corvo's position as the royal spy master makes it his responsibility to send agents into other people's business and monitor communications, even amongst their own ranks who could pose a threat. I would have been more lenient towards him if it weren't for the fact that he knows about the danger. In issue number 4 of Dishonored Comics titled The Wyrmwood Deceit, set 12 years after the events of the first game, Corvo is made aware of an unidentified enemy who knows magic and is targeting Empress Emily. This is reiterated in the first book I mentioned earlier. In one sentence of the epilogue, Corvo thought, "There would be many who saw the coronation of a child empress as an opportunity to make a move." With all this talk of referencing the books and comics in conjunction with the video games, I wanted to check first if they are even canon to begin with. In a Reddit AMA of Adam Christopher, the writer of the books, he responded to a question with the following. Before I started with any kind of story idea, I had in-depth discussions with Harvey and the folks at Arkane and Bethesda, and everything was approved by them before I got to work. So, everything that transpired in the books and comics are indeed canon in relation to the games. Therefore, in my opinion, Delilah's successful insurgency was the result of a massive intelligence failure by the spy master and his agents, a mistake that Corvo must learn from in order to continue protecting the Empress. You see, based on my observation of the Dishonored series, spies are a very big deal. A lot of the powerful groups across the Isles utilize them. Apart from Corvo's Royal Ring of Spies, the Abbey of the Everyman also have a history of sending out undercover overseers to mingle with Dunwall's gangs. All members of the defunct group of Dowd's Whalers are experienced spies. There's also Wyman and the League of Protectors. Even Tivia have agents lurking around Dunwall, most likely the ones called operators who can make people vanish. So yes, there are a lot of them, and they are everywhere. With the looming crisis brought about by the Void Rifts, it's only a matter of time before the Empress's enemies take advantage of the ensuing unrest to undermine her rule and topple the Empire. Long before opposing armies clash, the spy games will happen first. And because Corvo and Emily's powers are gone, their need to rely on people adept at surveillance and subterfuge is now more important than it has ever been. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.